And when you do the work, it's also important to know that you will deprive yourself from a lot of things. There are things and places that you will have to deprive yourself from.
What?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Natalie's Niche. If this is your first time watching my videos, welcome. You're in the right space. This space is just a place where we learn to become better versions of ourselves. We grow both spiritually, physically, mentally, and just every way. And so welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Anyways, today we'll be talking about how to become her. Becoming her. I posted a real short on my YouTube and someone actually really wanted to know, how do you take the steps? How do you become her? And let's talk about this. Becoming her is just something that you're just trying to become the best version of yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not okay. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person or you're not doing great in your life. It just means that you can become better. You can become the best version of yourself. So that is the journey that becoming her actually means. And so I've just been loving this season of getting to be more, of getting to realize that I can actually be better than I actually was, or that I can go on this journey of just rediscovering myself. So let's talk about the tips that has been really helping me in realizing that I'm that girl. I'm that girl, okay? I'm that girl, okay? Let's talk about it. Anyways, the first thing I'm gonna say is to identify yourself. Look at your life. What are the things you already love about yourself? What are the areas of your life that you look at you and you're really appreciating it? You're like, okay, I love this part of who I am. I don't want to change it for anything. Those are really great steps in realizing who you are, right? Let's think about an iPhone, for instance. The first iPhone and the newest version, there's things that are similar within the first one and the last one, right? Because there are things that iPhone holds to its core. There are values that iPhone keeps even in every version, right? But if you see, as the version goes by, there are things that they add on to kind of maybe zhuzh it up or make it look more sophisticated, or add more substance to the phone, right? Let's think about that when it comes to our life as well, right? As you grow, as you become a greater person, you have to realize that there are things that you hold to your core, like your values, your principles. What are the things you love about yourself, right? Hold on to that, right? I'm not telling you, this video is not like other video that's like, oh, change who you are, change. There are things you need to change, but there are also things about yourself that you should keep on, right? You being a great person, you being a family person, you just being a nice person, you actually taking care of your family, your friends. Those are things to hold on to your core, right? But there are things you also realize while you're looking at your identity, and you see that, well, these things aren't adding to me, right? These things aren't really doing anything for me, so I can let these things go. So identifying yourself, identifying who you are right now in this season, as you're trying to develop and become her and become the best version of yourself, is the first step I'll tell you to take. The next step is to research. What is this becoming her like? What are the things you want to add on to yourself? Research. Look at the things you would want to, or the person you would want to become, right? For me, I'll tell you guys, like, I love Sarah Jakes Roberts, right? I am obsessed with that woman, okay? Like, I love her, okay? Point blank, period, okay? I just love her presence, what she carries, how she carries herself, how she speaks the word of God. I love that sophistication, that soft, godly, powerful woman, right? And so I listen to her sermons a lot. I listen to her. I just love her style, how she dresses, how she carries herself with elegance and grace. So I started listening to her sermons, the way she dresses, things like that. It's not really you copying. If you think about this, it's more, I'm not telling you copy every single thing a person does. This is not what research means, okay? My research means is, what is it about somebody that you can look at and say, well, I want to add on these values, these things that I see on this person, these things that I see from this person to my life. So you look at them, you research, and then you begin to add it to what you already have. This is why it's so important to identify, number one, to identify the things you already love about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you want to be original to you, to who you are. I want to be original to who Natalie is. As much as I love Sarah Jakes, wherever God will take me in my life, it will need me to represent myself as Natalie. And so therefore, yes, I love her. I want to, you know, take a lot of substance and grace from her, and, you know, and actually learn from her, learn how, you know, God has really used her in places that she is, right? But I also want to be true to myself, which is why you have to have your own core values, and then research, look at other people. What are their day-to-day life? What do they do on a daily basis to make them who they are? Research will help you see what you want to add on to yourself. Why do you think iPhone has 3 cameras? Because they know we love to take pictures. They researched on us too, okay? So research. That's going to really help you in trying to figure out who you want to become. The third thing is to do the work, right? A lot of people think that when you see successful people, you keep thinking to yourself like, wow, they're so lucky. Like, how did they just get all these blessings? Like, they're so lucky, right? We think it's overnight success, but the truth is they did the work. Every successful person you've seen, and unless they grew up in wealth, unless their father already were billionaires, they had to do the work. Okay, and so you have to be willing to do the work to get to who you want to become. I'll read this quote from Messi for you guys. It says, I start early and I stay late, day after day, year after year. It took me 17 years and 144 days to become an overnight success. It took him 17 years and 144 days. Okay, 17 years. Some of us want things to happen immediately. It's like right now. I want this to happen. Like, I want to be that girl right now. Like, I want to, you know, be one of the top girls. I want to be the best influencer. I want to be this, that. It's not overnight. You have to do the work. You have to be willing to get up, do the work, research, look at things that you want to be better at. You want to work out 3 times a week, get up and do it. You want to post videos 3 times a week, get up and do it. Your success comes about when you actually do the work. And when you do the work, it's also important to know that you will deprive yourself from a lot of things. There are things and places that you will have to deprive yourself from.
What?
You're going to deprive yourself from things that are not going to help you get to your success, right? Becoming her. And for me, when I think about who I want to become, a classy, elegant, respectable woman of God, I know there are places that I should not be seen. There are conversations I should not be heard having. And so therefore, I will deprive myself of certain places just because I know where I'm going, which is why it's so important to identify who you are, number one. Research, and then be willing to put in the work. The next thing is to make sure you surround yourself with people that will remind you of your capabilities, like people that will constantly remind you of who you are and where you're going and who you want to be. What I love about my husband is the fact that he keeps on motivating me, even if he doesn't realize it. Like, most times he'll just be like, you always told me you want to be traveling around, you know, motivating people, speaking to people, and you want to be a publisher, you want to be an author. You know, these are things he just reminds me. And when I tell you that does something to me, like, it just pulls me up. Like, the fact that he knows where I'm going, the fact that he understands where I'm going, the fact that he sees it for me just as much as I see it for myself, it just keeps me going. So surround yourself with people that will remind you who you are and that you can become whoever you want to be. That's what you need. If you are around people that constantly bring you down, people that constantly tell you, oh, what are you doing that for? Please go sit down. Do you think you can ever become that girl? Do you think that, what are you doing all that for? You keep posting on TikTok, you keep doing this. Why? For what reason? Girl, it's time to say goodbye to them, okay? Like, you have to surround yourself with the right kinds of people that will constantly frame your minds, because there are times when you would not want to do the things that you want to do. You wouldn't want to go to the gym, you want to eat healthy, you want to dress better, you wouldn't want to do the things that will help you become who you want to be. And so you need people that will motivate you, not bring you down or talk you down, but actually speak life into you every time. The thing is to take on habits, little habits every day that will help remind you who you want to become. So for me, the little habits for me is actually just waking up and looking at my vision board. Right beside my bed, I have my vision board right there, and I have Sarah Jakes Robert like right on top there, and the things that I want to do in this year. And so every time I wake up, every day I wake up, it's just like a quick reminder. It's like, yeah, I have a journey, I have a vision of where I want to go, right? Little things that will highlight your day and actually make you constantly want to do the work to become her, to become who God has said you're going to be, right? Taking walks, reading a book, you know, actually having time for self-care, you know, learning or watching a video on how to, you know, make up better to be able to put your looks together, you know, learning or looking through Pinterest to see how you want to dress, you know, little things. Take little steps every day. You don't have to, I feel like sometimes we want this grand entrance, like we want this big entrance to things. It's like, I'm that girl, I've arrived. It's like automatically the next day you wake up, you've made it. But honey, it's not like that. You gotta make little steps every day. Like wake up early. You wanna try to wake up early. Wake up early, maybe twice a week. Let's take little baby steps to help us get to our goals. That is how you do it. You don't just, it's like all through the week, I'm gonna wake up 5 a.m. every morning, 5 a.m. every morning. You'll burn out, honey, okay? You will burn out. So take your time, slowly but surely you will get to who you want to become. It's okay to receive help in your process of becoming her. I know a lot of times people are like, oh, I did it all by myself, I didn't have nobody, you know, and then you feel like, okay, you just finished school, you want to live alone, you're telling your parents, I'm moving out, I want to have my independence, I want to be that girl. You can still be that girl in your parents' house while you save up for your own house, you know. Like, I feel like there are things that you can actually do. You don't have to get up and just because you see an Instagram influencer renting an apartment, you're like, oh, I should go rent an apartment. Doesn't make sense for you. Doesn't make sense for your life at the moment to live alone, you know. But there are things that you should be okay, like taking help or having help. It's okay to start your YouTube content or your YouTube journey in your parents' house, in your little room. Decorate your little room, stay in there, film your content, and you'll see that as your journey grows, you'll be able to live a more comfortable life in becoming who you want to be, right? Take steps, you know, just enjoying the process and actually accepting help. Accept help. It's okay to get help. If you know you do not have the money right now to go rent an apartment or to live the frivolous lives of traveling, you know, or taking all these pictures or doing this, doing that, and all that jazz that, you know, we see online, it's okay. Go with the process you're currently in. It's important for you to understand the season you're in becoming her, right? Becoming her can look different for every one of us. This is the tip I'm going to end with, right? Like for me, I'm married, so becoming her has to be something that I have to put in my mind that yes, I'm becoming that girl, right? But at the back of my mind, I know that that girl includes me being a wife, that girl includes me being a mother, that girl includes me having a home, right? And so as selfish as, you know, a lot of people say be selfish, do things for yourself, things like that, yes, prioritize yourself in the journey of becoming you, becoming the best version of you, but realize the season you're in. If you're single, there are things that are okay for you to do when you're single, and there are things that are okay for you not to do when you're, you know, with a partner or you're married, you know. So visualize what season you're in and capitalize on that. My husband knows that, you know, I am in a season of just becoming better in myself, in whatever God has called me to do. And so he realizes that he supports it. But at the end of the day, I have to know my priorities. Know your priorities as a woman, you know, and the season you're in, and just love the journey. Love the journey of constantly just trying to become the best version of yourself. I feel like this journey never really ends. It's not something that, you know, you learn one day and it goes away. It's something you have to continue to do for the rest of your life. You always want to be the best version of who you can be, of who God says you can be. All right, I really hope you guys love these videos. Let me know what other tips you guys are currently doing to become the best version of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you comment. Okay, let's talk about this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.